The prosecution now calls to the stand Louis Mevic Jr. to testify against his own father.
Would you state your name and age for the record, please?
Louis John Mevic, age 14.
What's your date of birth?
August 3rd, 1989.
Where do you currently live?
Whispering Palms Place, apartment 303.
Okay. And that's in Largo, Pinellas County, Florida?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the defendant in this case, Louis Stephen Mevic?
Yes, sir.
How do you know him?
He's my father.
Could you point him out and describe what he's wearing, please?
Stipulation notice for the record, thank you.
Do you know Martin Mevic?
Yes, sir.
How do you know him?
He's my younger brother.
How much younger is he?
He's 12, so 2 years.
Back on September 5th, 2003, where were you living?
With my father, Whispering Palms.
At the same address?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who else did you live with back in September 2003?
My younger brother.
What school did you attend?
Largo Middle School.
What school did Martin attend?
Largo Middle.
What grade were you in?
I was in 8th grade.
What grade was Martin in?
He was in 6th grade.
How did the two of you get to school each day?
We rode the bus.
And was your dad working back then?
Yes, sir.
What was he doing back then?
He worked at Home Depot.
Back on September 5th, 2003, did you and your brother go to the bus stop to go to school?
Yes, sir.
And how far is the bus stop from your apartment?
Maybe a couple houses, just down the street.
And did the defendant, your father, go to work that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know what time he had to go to work?
No, sir.
Or did he go to work before you went to school or after you went to school?
Before, sir.
When you got to the bus stop, who was there? Remember?
Usual people. Me, my brother Sean, Blake.
Blake Boyer?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Blake Boyer?
From the bus stop, sir.
Okay. Was he a friend of yours or just an acquaintance?
Acquaintance.
Okay. Did you know David Sears?
Yes, sir.
And how did you know him?
Same way, from the bus stop.
Okay. Did you know Sean Caroline?
Yes, sir.
And how did you know him?
From the bus stop and around the rec center.
Okay. Did you guys take the school bus that morning?
No, sir.
Why not?
We decided to ride the city bus.
Okay. Why?
We didn't much care for the school bus.
Was it air conditioned?
No, sir.
You had the sign seized?
Yes, sir.
Didn't like the bus driver?
No, sir.
Had you ever taken the city bus to school before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you were familiar that it would go by the school?
Yes, sir.
Had Martin ever done that?
Yes, sir.
How many times had you done that?
Once.
Now you and Martin got on the city bus?
Yes, sir.
Who else?
Sean, Blake, and David.
Sean did, Blake did, and David?
Yes.
So there was 5 of you?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else get on the
No,
city
sir.
bus? Okay. Did you get off at school?
No, sir.
Why not?
We missed the stop.
Okay. Why was that?
We were talking about skipping school.
Okay. You hadn't decided to skip school before you got to school?
No, sir.
After you missed the stop, what happened?
We went to the bus station and then rode back to the stop.
You went to the end of the line?
Yes, sir.
How long did it take for that to occur?
I guess maybe a half hour, I'm not sure.
So by that time you guys had decided you were going to skip school?
Yes, sir.
Did it cost something to ride the city bus?
Yes, sir.
You remember about how much it cost?
No, sir.
And you took another bus back?
Yes, sir.
How did you know which bus to take?
We looked at the map saying where the buses go.
Had you guys decided where you were going to go since you were going to skip school?
Yes, sir.
Where did you decide to go?
To my house.
Why?
Because no one was home.
Dino, any reluctance at all when you were a prosecutor to call a minor child to testify against the parent?
There's always, I think, some reluctance, but that has to give way to, I think, prosecutorial necessity, and here it does. I mean, especially where they appear to have conflicting accounts from the son and the father as to whether he knew the gun was there.
You have any idea at all how you would try to defend this case?
I think this case all cases, I think jury selection is key, but here I think jury selection is even more key. You only have 6 people on a trial jury in New York, it's in Florida, it's easier to knit together as a prosecutor. I think you really have to sound these folks out in the voir dire and the jury selection about can you pay attention here to anything other than the terrible fact of a dead child, innocent and killed, and listen and clearly apply the law as the judge will give, because it is a higher standard than simple negligence, recklessness, and add fact upon fact that tends to establish that while this again may not have been a choice that a reasonable person may have made, that it simply wasn't a wanton, it simply wasn't that kind of, I think the statute says, gross and flagrant disregard for human life. And there are some facts here that the boys were of a certain age, that he didn't expect them to be home, that he did sleep on the couch, that there was no requirement of trigger locks in Florida. I think you just have to try and pile it on top of one on top of the other with a jury that is going to focus to some extent on that. But it's a very, very difficult case.
That's a long way of saying it's a toughie for the defense.
It sure is.
Dino, thanks for being with us yet again. We always enjoy having you here, and we find your insights helpful.
My pleasure.
And what we're going to do is we're going to return to the Florida courtroom for more of Louis Mevic Jr.'s testimony against his own father in just a few minutes. But for now, we're going to get the latest news from Amanda Grove in the Court TV News Center. Louis Mevic Jr., 14 years old, continues to testify in the case against his own father.
When you got back to school, was the apartment locked? Do you remember?
No, sir.
You don't remember it wasn't
Don't
locked?
remember, sir.
Okay. But you had a key to get in?
Yes, sir.
So there are times when you and your brother get home from school, your father's not there, and you have to use the key to get in?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what time you were supposed to be home that day?
No, sir.
Were you allowed to have friends over when he wasn't there?
No, sir.
When the five of you went inside your apartment, what did you do?
We hung around for a while.
Okay. Watching TV?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a video game system in your
Yes, sir.
bedroom?
Yes, sir.
And there was bunk beds in your bedroom?
Yes, sir.
And this PlayStation 2, were you guys playing some video games?
Yes, sir.
And were you playing a game called Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a time when you were at the apartment that a firearm got taken out?
Yes, sir.
Where did that firearm get taken out from?
Under the couch in the living room.
Okay. Who took it out?
I did, sir.
How did you know there was a firearm under the couch?
I had found it before while cleaning or looking for the controller or something.
Sorry.
I found it before, like, while cleaning or looking for the remote or something. I don't remember.
How long before September 5th had you found this firearm?
A couple months, a month or two, I'm guessing.
So that was sometime during the summer?
Yes, sir.
Was your father home when you found the firearm?
No, sir.
Did you tell him that you had found the firearm?
No, sir.
Had your father ever told you that there would be a firearm there?
Not there, but that he owned two.
You lived in New York for a while, is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
You lived with your mom?
Yes, sir.
You lived with your father, he moved to Florida, and then you lived with your mom for a while?
Yes, sir.
Did you skip school while you were in New York?
A couple times.
Did your father know about you skipping school in New York?
No, sir.
He didn't know?
No, sir.
That's not one of the reasons you came down to Florida?
Yes, it's one of the reasons after.
And then he said, did he ever tell you where he stored the firearms that he had?
No, that he had them, but...
When you first came down, do you remember him telling you that he had stored them and they might be under the couch or in that area?
In the house, yeah, but not under the couch, no. He didn't state that.
He told you that he kept it by the couch, is that what you remember?
Or that he kept it.
Okay. Do you have your deposition with you?
No, it's... Okay.
You look at page 34, start out.